and how my morning start for me. And every single day, the things I hate most is called an alarm clock. And if I can kill somebody, I can kill the guy who invented alarm clock 29 times every single morning. And whenever I go to the train station and I have to pass my room like this way, and I barely can open my eyes, and it's really hard for me to look across the train rail to see when the next train will be coming, because all the people, when I get into the train, if he's a developer, looks like this. And before going to the office, right, I have to make sure I got enough energy to things working for my day. And when I get my energy from these guys, I can actually do some work and get things done. So far so good. And we will be talking about like debugging JavaScript, but that was the title, and eventually I ended up talking about dev tools. So we'll start with console. So if you go to like dev tool, and this is the console tab, and if you have like multiple variables or something, you can easily type, and I have say like first, second, something like this, I get those values. If I want to get more than one values in the console log, everybody knows that you can use comma. So you can do like console log, and if I have like first, if I have second, and if I have third, then I will get these values. But if I do the same thing in my file, so if I do it here, if I have Sublime somewhere, so if I have something like this, and if I reload my page, and I want to see these things, I'm not sure which one is first and which one is second and which one is third. So what I usually, or people usually do, they put some name in front of this. You don't need to know Mercurial. So most of the times what we do, we put something here, say this is first. Okay, this is first, and you put like all the things in front of it, say like you put like second, and you put third, whatever you want to know about which is the value is about. And if you do this, now you reload the page, you will know which one is first, which one is second and third. So far so good. And if you have some object like say like JS dude, and you will get the objects, right? And if you have like more objects like awesome dude, you will get those. But if I get some data from the server side, what I get, say I get from Ajax call or something, and this is my data. Now it's really hard for me to look into what object is this. If I am looking for something, I have to go there and explore these things, and it's not like very handy for me. It's like hard, and I have to go through all these properties. So the dev tool has something called like you can do console table. If you do this and pass an array of objects, then you will get this table. And you know that first one, you have like name as like Adios Money, second one has like area, and all the properties is here, and you can see those things. So whenever you are loading something from the server side and you want to see the properties of this, like all this collection, you can easily use console.table. Who is impressed with this? Clap, guys. Okay, good. Okay, so as a developer, we are lazy, so we don't want to like type console table. We can easily type just table and pass data. Because we are lazy, we get exactly the same thing. One person clap, thank you. And it works with an array of objects, and if you have an array of array, it also works. So if you have like my arrays, so you have like array, and everything is inside you have elements. It doesn't have to have like same amount of elements or properties there. You have like my arrays, not this one, and you will get this all the elements in the array, some of the arrays might not have the properties, and if you are smart enough, you can figure out that first array doesn't have the third properties. It's like the fourth elements. So you will know this, look at my checklist. And sometimes you have like big object. What is this? Say, I have like my object. And if you have like my object, you see some properties here, child, and if you expand it, and you know this is child, and child has grandchild has who doesn't care somebody because you would be died by that time. So if you want to see everything in these properties, some workaround is like you can do json.stringify, and you pass this like my object, and that will show you all the properties in this object. And it will take out like if you have like proto or something put by this developer tools or JavaScript. So you can see this stuff. I'm pretty much done.
I like the age minus 17.
Oh, minus 17. That's good because he is yet to come, right? And now the problem is like, say, if I have some page here, I'll put it there. So if I have something like this, and if I have to like reload the page, things are gone. And whatever I logged before, say I take out this guy. Come on, okay. So whatever I have here, and if I reload the page, everything is gone. So if I do something like this, table my arrays or table, say like console, these things, if I reload the page, everything is gone. So they give you like a checkbox. If you preserve log and check this guy, now it doesn't matter how many times you load the page, things would be there. Because you might need to compare the values before loading something and after loading something, so you can preserve those values here. And if you need to clean this log sometimes, the best way of doing this is clear console, but we don't like it. You can right click and you get this clear console, and if you are like command lines, you can call this clear function, that will clear it. Even if you want to type little more, you can do like console.clear, that will do it. But if you are actually a developer, you will do a control plus L. So if you do like control plus L, that will do the job for you, like this. So the developer will do control L, rest of the grandfathers will do all this stuff. And if you have some Ajax call here and you want to see all this Ajax call happening here, so I will show you my Gmail. Before that, I can do something. Not this type. Yeah. So if you right click, you will see like log XML HTTP request. So any XML HTTP or Ajax call is done to the server side would be logged. So if you go to like Gmail, that should do tons of logging. That's why I need to buy a Mac, and I will do fundraising after this talk. I'm buying a Mac, so feel free to contribute. So any XML HTTP request is done. Why this first? I have something else.
Why would I want to ruin you with a Mac?
Yeah, Mac is king.
If you like spending all your money.
Why is my XML HTTP? So
It's funky months.
okay, we'll
That's
show
why
it
you
later.
help buying
That's
the
fine.
Mac.
And if you have like a big object, something like I had before, where is this? So if I have something, so if you have like my objects, say I have these big objects, and or you have like, I have some big guys. Come on, seriously. About JavaScript, that's what I was looking for. If I have some object like about JavaScript, and you have all these object has these properties and values, and you want to find the keys of this object, right? So what you can do, you can call the keys and give the name of the object, and you will get all the keys this object have. Sometimes you would be interested to know what are the keys. And if somebody give you keys, you'll be asking for values. So they will give you the, tell me the values. So if you call this function, not value of values, and you pass this object like about JavaScript, then you will get the values. So whatever the values of the property it has, you will see those stuff here. That's good. Now if you want to copy an object from this tab that you want to see, like say about JavaScript, and you want to use it somewhere, and you want to copy it, if you just do this stuff, that doesn't help that much. So you can do something called copy, and if you pass like about JavaScript, it will copy the object. And if you want to see it, the object is here. Sometimes it helps if you go to like Sublime and want to do it, and my favorite name is like bar KKK, and if you put this, you get the objects here. So if you use copy, this command line one, you can copy all the objects you need to know. And number of libraries, if you are interested, no, JavaScript is none because there are so many out there. But initially I actually typed infinity, but when JavaScript do some work for me and make this null. So no JavaScript library will remain after today. Now we have like a lot of function, and we do with all this function. Let's get rid of this guy. And sometimes we are interested that how many guys is calling a function, right? So I have some functions somewhere. Where is add? Here. Okay. So I have like add function, and I'm interested that how many times people are calling this function for different places, right? So what you can do, you can write console and count. And if you give some name that somebody wants to add, so add called or something, and if you give some name here, that's all you need to do. Now if you reload this, and I don't need this guy, and if you do like say call this add and pass any parameters, it will log you add called once. If you do again, add calls 2. It doesn't matter how many parameters or how you are calling, add called 3rd times. That means every single time that console.count is called, it will tell you how many times people are bugging with that guy who wants to stay alone. So you will know this. And if you have like some for looping here and you want to see some values in every steps, because you don't know where inside this for looping messed up your code or something. And if you do something here, say console log, I want to see first one value of I, and every single time I want to get the value of total. And if I do this, my console tab will be flooded because I have 100, sometimes I could have 1,000. So this doesn't help me a lot because I don't want to like flood this console tab. I want to group them together. So I can easily do this. There are multiple ways. You can do like console, you can group and give it some name, say like loops, oops, something like this. And you can do console and group and you can give the same name, loops, oops, yes, it's there. So if I do this, it gives me the flexibility to collapse it, but that's not what I want because I have to manually scroll all the way up and say, okay, stay inside, don't go outside of the house because it's cold outside. So what I need to do, I can tell here, other than console group, I can tell like group collapsed. If I do this, now if I load this, it will be a nice guy, like when you were a kid, stay home. Don't go outside, and if you're interested to check into stuff inside, you can definitely check those things. Sometimes, because we are lazy, we don't want to use the calculator or go to google.com to do like 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3 and all these calculations because we are developer. And if you're a JavaScript developer, you do all this calculation here, 2 plus 3, 4 plus 5. And and you want to do something like this. Say you want to, whatever is the result of this your last calculation, and you want to get the square of it. So the best way of doing it is that you copy this guy and you paste it here. You want to square it, you paste it here, and you get the square of whatever your last result. But unfortunately, you don't have to do this. You can do $_. If you do $_, you will get the last result. Now, if you want to like make it multiple times, so like $_, this will do last result, and it will get the last result every time. That means $_ would be whatever is the last result in your console tab. Yes?
Is that the same thing as $0?
No, we'll go there if you stay until 9. Okay. Okay, 8:45. Now, sometimes we developer, we are working on a part of the project, and we see that we have to take a screenshot, but it's too hard to go there. Like you have to log in, you have to navigate multiple pages, and go this, and you get to the state. And then you find out that heading of your page has a typo. Now you can't take this screenshot and send it to the clients. What will you do? You can go to your HTML file, do this correction, come back and take a screenshot. Super simple. But you can do even better. So if you do like document.body, do like content editable is equals to true. That means you are telling that your content should be editable. And if you do that, now if you go there and you can say like, okay, I didn't mean it, so you can do this advanced JavaScript debugging, and you can do like, you don't care about like JavaScript is too long, so you can delete some part of it, and you make it like JS debugging. You said, okay, meet up here today, something like this. Even you can add new line. So the trick here is, if you want to have some part of your DOM, you don't want to reload, but change something to take a screenshot, you can do like document body content editable. And nobody told me to increase the font size of this thing. I don't know, because they are sleeping here, or you guys don't care.
Good.
So that's pretty much it. Now you can go home.
You don't need it to get.
So what we talked about, like about console so far, we talked about that you can log multiple stuff by using comma. You can use control table or only table if you want to log array of an object or array of an array. And you can do JSON stringify if you're interested to see all the properties and values of an object. And we didn't actually talk about it. Log, debug, info is pretty much same thing, only info has an icon, one has a different icon. And if you use console.error, then you will get the call stack, and you will get red color there. That's it. And we talked about cleaning stuff, Control L. We talked about like preserve log. If you reload the page, you want to see those things. We talked about like count, how many times you are calling a function, how you can group bunch of log together. We talked about, but we failed to show, but we talked about, that's true. And we talked about keys and values. We talked about copy, and we talked about $_. We talked about content editable. So that's what we talked about. Now we'll talk about the source tab. Okay, so source tab is even interesting on this guy. Sources here. So it usually comes with like 3 parts. One part you have like in the left side is the sources, whatever the files you have, and you have like bunch of files open here. I already had bunch of stuff. That means you can close and open. That works, but the most interesting part here is if you right click on this, they said close others. That means you want to keep this file and close rest of it. Who doesn't love this? So all rest of the file you have there would be closed. This guy would be stays here, and if you use like close, you can close this guy. And it gives you a nice suggestion here. If you open a file, or you can hit Control P, And if you do this, now you can get like console, JS, like Sublime. You can use like sources, whatever you have here. And definitely you can do like Control F to find something in this file. You can do Control Shift F to find any of the file you have. But that's not the most important part. And second one isn't important part either. Say if you want to go some line, say you want to go like line number 5000 object query, because I don't know, you want to get lost in their code or something. So you can do Control Z. Z is in giraffe or zebra. My Z doesn't sound like you guys G. So G as in girlfriend. So that's easier. You can do like 5000. You can go to the 5000 line. But that's not the most interesting part. If you want to see the matching braces, right? That's interesting. So if you press Control M, M as in MD, medical doctor. So if you do M, it will move. You see the cursor moves in the front of the function. If you press Control M, it goes to the last. So if you want to see the matching braces, it could be like curly braces for your function. It could be like this guy. So if you go like Control M, it will move. If you can follow, it will move all these places. And it's true for third bracket or anything. It's true, like this guy. So if you want to move or jump around the matching braces, you can use Control M. M is in MD. So that works. But if you want to do something like, say you have query selector, you selected some part of the code and you want to select the same selection in the next space, you can use Control D. So it will do the Control D. If I have something, it will go all the places and select it, all the places I have. I don't know why you will need it, but you can use it. You can press Control C, you can copy it just to prove that I'm not lying. So I will paste it somewhere. So all this I have selected there, I copied it here. So if you paste like Control D, D as in like Douglas Crockford. You can use that. Now we will talk about like if you have something, say I have some function here, data, and if you use like Sublime Text, and you see you might like here. Say multiple cursor. If you want to like place things some multiple places at the same time, so you can like control and click here. So this is your first cursor. You click here, second cursor. You can put third cursor, fourth cursor, fifth cursors, and the sixth one. And you can say like is awesome or something, and it's true. And it's like, okay, people are not amazed and they are not clapping. That's fine. True, that's true too. So you can have like multiple cursors at the same time, and like the Sublime Text, if you want to edit something here, and I don't know why all these places have some weird things. If you want to do some column selection, you can press like Alt and use your mouse to select this kind of stuff. I don't know why you will need it, but they give it to you just to kill some time at work if you are bored. So you can copy these guys and you do console here, and just to prove you guys that you can paste it here. So it works, and the next thing you can do here, say in the sources and somewhere else, so sources.js, you can like bunch of places you can do like breakpoints. Say here, everywhere you will see the breakpoints. But that's not the most important part. The important part is if I have some add function somewhere, say here, I had an add one. Where is Mr. Add? Oh, before that, we will tell you something more interesting. Sometimes in my code, I want to find a function. So the best way I do Control F, and I want to find remove. And it's not a function, but it goes me there, enter. Oh, this is not a function either. This is not a function. At last I get close to the function. Oh, it's not a function. So it's not like very helpful for me to find where is the function definition. So if I use, say, Control Shift O. So Control Shift O, O is like Oliver can or something. And if I do like remove, it will tell me what are the function name remove. If you press enter, it will go to the definition of that function right away. So it's very helpful for me because I want to get to the definition. I don't care about the comments that has removed. So what I did, Control Shift O, and I want to go to remove. I want to the second one. I don't care about the first one. Same kind of function name, but it's like two different parameters. I press enter, it right away goes, where is the definition of the function. So this is most powerful, and this is very helpful for me, but I don't use it every day. And who? Who use it every day?
I will use it every day.
Oh, will, okay. Okay. And what else? Is this all I have?
That's just doing the clap, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Clap, yeah, that's a clap.
Oh,
If you start making.
give them beer. Okay, so I had this like add, right? Where is add? I want to find this key, Control Shift O. I had only one function here, so it's super easy. And I don't care about here, I want to put a breakpoint here. That works. So every time I need a console tab, I was going there in the console tab every time here, but that's a lot of work for a developer. So what we can do, we can press escape. If we press escape, you will have the split view of the console. You can select this one, and you don't have to go all the other tab. It doesn't matter even the elements tab or network or sources, you will get the split part of your console tab. I will clean this guy. I can call this add function, and if I try to add 2, 3, it will break there. That's okay, everybody knows about it. If you have breakpoints, it will break it. That's all it can do. But if you care about that, only if value of A is more than 20 or something like that. So you can edit the breakpoints here. And you can put any logic here, say, it could be any true values. You say if value of A is greater than 20, then only break it. You see the color, it changed to yellow. So if I call now, add, not this guy. If I call, where is my add? Okay, add. Oh, because it's broken there. Here. Okay, if I add like 2, 3, it doesn't do anything. But if I call like 23, it breaks there. So you could have a conditional, and you could have like A plus 5, 7, 29, whatever Boolean logic. If the logic is true, it will break right away there. If logic is false, it will not break there. So you can add conditional breakpoints there, which is, I think, very nice. What else you can do? If you have like multiple breakpoints in this space, because you are crazy and you are adding breakpoints here and there, and you want to go a particular one, in the right side, you have like so many stuff here. I will not talk about step in, step out, because this is advanced. And and you have something here called like breakpoints. So if I collapse all these guys, and it will tell you which line number you have those breakpoints. Say you have like one is 114, you have console count. If you click on this, you will go right away on that line. So if you click on this guy, you will know where it is broken, or why you add this breakpoints. You can disable those, and like, active, inactive, and those kind of stuff. On top of this, you have some watch expression. That means if you are doing something, you can watch value of here, like in I or total. I have those things. You can remove this guy, this guy, this guy, and say, right now where I have broken, say, so I call this add again. This not the one, this one. Okay.
Sorry, what did you do to edit the breakpoint?
Okay, I'll show you. So if you right click, you can do like add conditional breakpoints. This is one way. So if you do it, it will give you ask for the condition. And if you already have a breakpoints, you can do like edit breakpoints. Yes, sir.